Welcome to the fascinating world of forensic linguistics, where language and crime collide. Have you ever wondered how detectives solve complex cases like identifying an anonymous letter writer or catching a criminal based on their spoken words? Well, that's where forensic linguistics comes in. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the cutting-edge techniques used by forensic linguists to help solve crimes. We'll explore how they analyze language patterns, word choices, and even accents to provide valuable insights into criminal behavior. From analyzing ransom notes to deciphering coded messages, forensic linguistics is an essential tool in the modern detective's arsenal. So, join us on this journey into the fascinating world of forensic linguistics and discover how this field is helping to bring criminals to justice. Forensic linguistics is a relatively new field that has emerged at the intersection of language and law. It involves the application of linguistic principles and techniques to investigate criminal activity and provide evidence in legal proceedings. Forensic linguists use their expertise to analyze language samples, including written and spoken language, to extract meaning and identify patterns that can help solve crimes. One of the most common applications of forensic linguistics is in the analysis of ransom notes. By examining the language and phrasing used in a ransom note, forensic linguists can identify clues about the author's identity, including their level of education, cultural background, and potential geographic location. These insights can help investigators narrow down their suspect pool and ultimately lead to an arrest. Forensic linguistics is also useful in identifying anonymous online threats, such as those made on social media platforms. By analyzing the language and syntax used in the threat, linguists can often determine the author's age, gender, and even emotional state at the time of writing. This information can be invaluable in identifying potential suspects and preventing further harm. Another area where forensic linguistics is making a significant impact is in the analysis of recorded interviews and phone calls. By examining the language patterns and intonation of the speaker, forensic linguists can identify potential signs of deception, such as changes in vocal pitch or the use of evasive language. This information can help investigators determine the veracity of the information provided by a suspect or witness and can be used to build a stronger case in court. Forensic linguistics can even be used to help identify potential hate crimes. By analyzing the language used in a crime, such as graffiti or hate mail, forensic linguists can often determine the author's ideological beliefs and potential affiliations with extremist groups. This information can be used to identify potential suspects and prevent future hate crimes from occurring. The cutting-edge techniques used by forensic linguists are helping to revolutionize the way crimes are being investigated. By analyzing language samples using a range of techniques, forensic linguists are providing valuable insights into criminal behavior and helping to bring perpetrators to justice. Forensic linguists use a variety of cutting-edge techniques to help solve crimes. These techniques involve analyzing language samples, including written and spoken language, to extract meaning and identify patterns that can be used to identify suspects, build cases, and bring criminals to justice. One of the most common techniques used by forensic linguists is forensic phonetics, which involves analyzing the phonetic characteristics of spoken language. Forensic phonetics can be used to determine the identity of a speaker by analyzing their accent, speech patterns, and voice characteristics. This information can be compared to known voice samples to identify potential suspects or eliminate them from consideration. For example, a ransom note may contain grammatical errors that suggest the author is not a native speaker of the language, or it may contain cultural references that suggest a certain geographic location or cultural background. These insights can be used to narrow down the suspect list and ultimately lead to an arrest. Another important technique used by forensic linguists is discourse analysis, which involves analyzing the structure and content of written or spoken language. Discourse analysis can be used to identify patterns of language use that are characteristic of certain groups or individuals. For example, if a suspect is known to use a particular phrase or grammar pattern, forensic linguists can look for evidence of that pattern in other language samples to identify potential matches. Forensic linguists also use stylometry to identify authorship, which involves analyzing the style and tone of written language. Stylometry can be used to identify similarities between different pieces of writing and to determine whether they were written by the same person. This technique can be used to identify anonymous letter writers, as well as to determine whether a suspect has written incriminating documents. By analyzing the language and syntax of the thread, forensic linguists can identify markers that may suggest the identity of the author. For example, the use of specific slang terms or the inclusion of personal details can help identify a suspect. This information can be used to prevent further harm and bring the perpetrator to justice. Another important technique used by forensic linguists is computational linguistics, which involves using computer algorithms to analyze large amounts of language data. Computational linguistics can be used to identify patterns and correlations that would be difficult to detect using traditional methods. For example, computational linguistics can be used to identify patterns of language use that are associated with certain types of criminal activity, such as cyberbullying or hate speech. Forensic linguistics is also used to analyze recorded interviews and phone calls. By analyzing the language and intonation used by the speaker, forensic linguists can identify potential signs of deception or inconsistencies in a suspect's story. This information can be used to build a stronger case against the suspect and help secure a conviction. In addition to these techniques, forensic linguists also use traditional linguistic analysis methods, such as morphological analysis and syntactic analysis, to identify patterns in language use that can help solve crimes. For example, forensic linguists may examine the syntax of a ransom note to identify potential linguistic or cultural markers that could help narrow down the suspect pool. Thank you for watching our exploration into the fascinating world of forensic linguistics and how it's used to solve crimes. From analyzing written texts to studying the patterns of spoken language, forensic linguistics plays a crucial role in criminal investigations. As language is a fundamental part of human communication, it can provide valuable insights into the minds and motivations of criminals. Through the use of forensic linguistics, investigators can uncover hidden meanings and decipher codes that might otherwise go unnoticed. But this field is not without its challenges. The nature of language is complex, and there are many factors to consider when analyzing it for forensic purposes. Nonetheless, forensic linguistics has proven to be a powerful tool in solving crimes and bringing justice to victims. We hope you found this documentary on forensic linguistics both informative and engaging. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining us on today's episode, and we look forward to bringing you more fascinating insights into the world of true crime. Stay safe until next time.